Arsenal have gone down to the Vitality in Bournemouth, slapped them up 3-0 and are currently top of the league. Full credit to Arsenal. Full credit to Arteta and huge amounts of credit to the industrious, brilliant, full of flair, full of guile, full of silk, Gabriel Jesus. The signings that Arsenal have made have elevated everything and that club are moving in the right direction. And fair play to Mikel Arteta. But what a difference a year makes. This time last year, after 3 games, Arsenal were sitting in 20th. They had won none, they had drawn none. They had lost 3, they hadn't scored a goal and they had conceded 9. Compare that with a year later. They are top of the league. They have won all of their games. They have scored 9 goals. They've conceded 2. And they've actually scored more because I think they were robbed. In fact, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. I want to go mad about the Gabriel Jesus disallowed goal. The poetry involved in that goal. I don't want Arsenal to score goals. I don't like Arsenal Football Club. But that goal should have stood. Football deserves that goal to stand. When we are zooming in on a moment of football to a level of zoom where it's actually beyond recognition from what it once was. For example, if I showed you the zoom that they went into, you know when it goes so close that it no longer looks like a photo? All the pixels, it's just little squares. You don't know that it's a football pitch. It could be a fish tank. You'd have no idea. When you were zooming in like that, it's a goal. Do not rob the world of that kind of brilliance. That goal will be forgotten now. And it shouldn't be because it was that good. And Gabriel Jesus, his performance today was sensational. He was robbed of a goal. He totally and utterly deserved it. But it doesn't matter. Arsenal won't care. Gabriel Jesus, I doubt, will care. Shouldn't because he was sensational. He was absolutely outrageous today. But I am so bored of VAR. I'm so bored of it. But this isn't the time for that. Arsenal, for the first time in 18 years, have started with 3 consecutive victories. And that performance today against Bournemouth was men versus boys. It was the ideal 90 minutes from Arsenal. It was just perfection. They made it so easy. And of course, Arsenal were going to beat Bournemouth, or of course, Arsenal should beat Bournemouth. But it was the manner in which they did it, the professionalism that they showed. They were sensational. They were blistering. They were better than Bournemouth. Bournemouth couldn't get the ball off them. Bournemouth genuinely couldn't get the ball off them. They had no touches in Arsenal's box. It was an accomplished, complete, professional performance. It was about as good as it gets. And as a result of that, first time since 2004, Arsenal started a season with 3 consecutive wins. I think that Arteta will be delighted, you know. I think he will be delighted because they had a vice-like grip on that contest from start to finish. They could have possibly scored more, but overall, the energy was perfect. The synergy was perfect. The new signings were unreal. And if you look at the elevation of everyone because of the new signings and because of the new way that the Arsenal team played, because of the signings, and full credit to Arteta for coaxing these performances out. I always rated Martin Odegaard, but I did have a slight issue with him. One issue. He didn't score enough goals. Martin Odegaard, considering how gifted a footballer he is, considering how wonderful he is on the ball, considering the eye that he has for a pass, he should be passing the ball into the net a minimum of 12 times a season. He's that good a player. He should be scoring more goals. And he should be a little bit more selfish. In fact, there was a moment only last week against Crystal Palace or the week before when he could have shot, he passed, and it resulted in nothing. Not today. 2 goals. I can't remember him scoring 2 goals in the same game for Arsenal ever. I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I don't think it's happened. Got them today, and they were big goals. It was just when he, you know, what you want from a player like that. Coming through the midfield, scoring big goals, setting your team out to victory. You know, he's not scoring the 5th in a 5-0 win. He's doing the business when it really matters. Twice. He scored twice. So full credit to Martin Odegaard. And it's funny to think that until very recently, he's been criticised for not scoring enough goals by me, but by others as well. I think he's a player that often looks for the extra pass, but he's in a much more decisive mood at the moment. And the fact that he's on the score sheet twice is huge. But we now have to talk. You know, I could do this for an hour. I could honestly do this for an hour. But I'm going to talk about Gabriel Jesus' contribution for Arsenal's first goal. It was perfect centre-forward play. It was archetypal brilliance from a centre-forward. It's everything that you want from a centre-forward. There was a kind of scuffed clearance pass, whatever you want to call it, from Ben White. You know, one of those when the centre-half goes through the ball with the side of their foot and the ball goes flying up in the air. It's spinning, it's miles up in the sky, you're under pressure, the sun's out. Difficult, right? Difficult. Do you know what Gabriel Jesus did? He controlled that football as if it were a medicine ball. You know those medicine balls that you get in the gym? You drop them to the floor and they're just dead. That's what he did. He controlled a football under pressure, spinning from Ben White in the sunshine, under all sorts of pressure. Like that. It was miraculous. It was truly sublime. And it was, do you know what he did? It was almost like it were, in a golf shot. You know when you hit it in golf and it goes really high and then the hole's there and then the ball will drop like a Tiger Woods shot. It will drop right next to the hole and not move. Boom. Dead. That's what Gabriel Jesus did. Just plucked it out of the air. But that wasn't even the start of it. That wasn't even the best bit. Look what I just described. That wasn't even the best bit. He then, rugged, determined, aggressive, fought his way through skill, guile, panache, puts it on a play, cut back, goal. Odegaard deserves plaudits. I'm not taking anything away from Odegaard, but my word. The way that Gabriel Jesus, not only did he launch that Senesi to the ground, but to cushion the ball out of the sky like that, to then play it perfectly into Martinelli. I mean, it was just brilliant. Martinelli shoots. Next thing is in the back of the net, Odegaard. Outrageous. And then it was just more good news for Arsenal. The Saliba chant. Look, I like a loud chant. I'm fully in favour of fan culture. I love it. But that is sheer theft from Arsenal. I remember, what was it, last year? Basuma, the tequila. It was Basuma's song. But, got to be done. And it was loud and it was passionate and it was excellent. But the way that Saliba played, he was just marvellous. But then the goal that he scored, and do you know what I sometimes think tells you more about the goal than the goal itself? The reaction from others. When you watch this goal, if you see it tonight or Match of the Day or wherever you watch your football, don't watch the goal. Just trust me on this. Don't watch the goal. Watch Zinchenko. It's a little bit like when Matic scored that goal at Wembley against Tottenham and Kurt Zouma was in the stands going mad. It's a little bit like that. Just watch Zinchenko. I mean, the finish from Saliba was brilliant. It was with his weaker foot. The ball comes back to him and he sort of sweeps the ball into the corner with his left foot. Lovely arching shot across the goal. And it was a timely third goal for Arsenal. It's when they needed it. They were never really under pressure, but you know how it can go. It felt like it may have gone that way. But it didn't, which is what they were after. But yeah, it was a glorious, glorious finish. And that was basically that. I mean, it was that from the first half. The first half was about as one-sided a football match as you will ever watch. I doubt that you will ever see a game of football in the Premier League that is as one-sided as that. It was so easy for Arsenal. It was men versus boys. It was reminiscent of a cup game. A fourth round of the FA Cup when Yeovil go to Man City. Or it was that. They just couldn't get the ball off them. They couldn't get the ball off them. I think the percentages of possession were sort of 75% in Arsenal's favour. No touches in the Arsenal box. Arsenal were just controlling the ball, playing the ball into feet, constantly finding a man in space. And it was all so easy. But if you were to have a quibble with Arsenal, and, I certainly don't, but if you were to have a quibble with the way that Arsenal played, maybe they should have scored the third goal earlier, because there's always a chance that, the second half, there could be a change of temperature and it could all go. Look, it didn't. It was never going to happen. Arsenal was sensational. And I predicted 4-0 at half-time. So I never thought that it was going to go wrong. But I do think that when you are as good as Arsenal were today, when you were as on top as Arsenal were today, I always find 2-0 a dangerous scoreline. So maybe, considering the chance after chance after chance, maybe it should have been more at half-time. But we're splitting hairs here. Arsenal were magnificent. They were robbed of a perfectly good goal as well. They're top of the league. What can I possibly say? They're doing something right. They're looking excellent. And fair play to them. And this game was so over, so early, that they could have already been thinking about what they're going to do against Fulham next week. Thank you for watching this video. Congratulations to Arsenal. They look magnificent. They really did. Keen to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. And do me a favour, click subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. I will see you all very soon.